Let me start. The recording has started. Okay, I have some couple of chats. Okay. Conducted last class. I tried to run the code, move that one. That one was defined as a byte size location. It is saying invalid operands. Didn't assemble it. Okay, we'll look at it. Obviously, it will lead to a problem, Hariharan. It will lead to a problem because the problem is that that one is okay. So we'll look at it. I'll also see it and get back to you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. Let me share my screen. So we were looking at the string operations. So okay. So we looked at MoveSP, and we also looked at load S2 stars S. Okay. The next instruction that we need to look at is SCAS. Okay. Now SCAS is a very interesting instruction. Okay. So it is very useful. Okay. So SCAS, what it does is it compares AL, okay, specifically AL with a byte of memory, a byte of data in the memory. Okay. So the memory location will be specified by DI, and because DI is used, so you will be comparing by default in the extra segment only. Okay. So you compare it. Okay. The operands will not be affected, only the flags will be affected. It will be this will be a subtraction. Okay. So it will do a subtraction. So AL minus that data. Okay. AL minus data or AX minus data. So it can be SCAS B or SCAS W. Okay. SCAS B or SCAS W. And we can use a prefix called REPNE, SCAS B. So it will repeat the comparison till you find it not equal, till it is not equal, or as long as it is not equal, you do the comparison, and when it finds something equal, or when the count has become 0, CX has become 0, it will stop it. Okay. So for example, you have this DI offset as some string, offset text strings. Text string is the name of that particular array, and you have AL. We want to check whether AL is 0D. Okay, you want to check whether 0D is present in this particular string. Okay, so and you do a CLD. CLD means it will be clear, direction flag will be cleared, and therefore DI will be incremented. DI will be incremented. Okay. So what it will do, it will check 80 bytes in this particular text string. Okay. And or it will repeat till it is equal. So this loop will continue until you find some string which is or some byte which is 0D or 80 characters are compiled. Whichever happens first will be exited. Either okay, either we 1 second. Yes. So it happens that either okay 80 characters compared or 0D H is found. Okay, whichever happens before. Okay, whichever happens before, you will do this particular thing. Okay, scanning is repeated as long as bytes are not equal and the end of string is not reached, whichever is earlier. Okay, so 0D is found in DI, which will point to the next address. If 0 is found, then it will actually come out. Okay, so this is a very useful instruction, especially when you want to find a particular character in particular string of operation. Okay, so again, CX will hold the count, and the direction flag will tell whether it is increment or decrement. If it is CAS B, Okay, every comparison or every time di will become plus or minus 1. Otherwise, if it is cas w, this is for cas b, and for cas w, di plus or minus 2. Okay, plus or minus 2. So that is what will happen, right? On the other hand, what we will do with comparison CMPS is you will compare a byte or a word with in two memory locations. Okay, so it compares a byte in a one string, or a word in another string with a byte in another a byte in one string with the byte in another string, or word in one string with the word in another string. That is, the comparison is actually between SI and DI. Okay, so a byte or a word between SI and DI will be combined. Okay, by default, SI will combine with DS, DI will combine with ES. Okay, again, flags will be affected, but there will not be any change in the operands. Only flags will be affected. The direction flag will tell whether you auto increment or auto decrement. Okay, so and it can be used with a prefix, that is repeat till equal, repeat till not equal, etc. Okay, so I let us say that we have SI string first, as DI is string second. I do a CLD incrementation and move CX 100 bytes I want to repeat. So repeat till equal. Okay, till repeat. So repeat until end of string or until bytes compared are not equal. Whichever happens first, it will do that. Okay, as long as the strings are same, it will do the comparison. Okay, so that is what you will be doing in this particular example. Right. So any doubts here? We have completed the string instructions. Any doubts still here?
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yes.
Sir, why will the DI or the pointer point to the next location of the when the equality is achieved? Why are we incrementing when we have found the exact the byte or the string we are looking for?
In this particular example,
No, in the previous one, SCAS.
here
Yes, if
CAS
OD
CAS is basically it will compare between AL or AX to DI.
if OD has been found, why are we incrementing DI? We should the program should
Yeah, that's what it
capture
when
that.
it will repeat. That's what it will come out. Repeat till not equal. Repeat as long as it is not equal. It will do CAS is repeated as long as bytes are not equal and the string is 0D is found. Okay, so this is the exit condition. What I have written here is the exit condition. Either 80 characters are compared already or 0D is found. If 0D is found, it will come out. This
So
is the
why
exit
would be DI pointing to next address?
in the sense. In the last time when it compares also, it will actually DI will increment. Is it like that? Why it should happen?
No, the when the we have found the equality of the
Hmm.
OD in the
Hmm.
string, why
Hmm.
should the DI be incremented then? The condition should be the program should be exit at that point.
No, it will increment that time also. In the last time when it will last comparison it will do, there also it will increment. There also it will increment.
Okay, sir.
There you have to make you can say you have to make some adjustment. Maybe say decrementing. If I want to go to a location where actually that 0D is there, you have to again decrement it to come back to that location. Okay, let us say that I have this particular array like this. Okay, so I have, so 0D is here. Okay, and then after comparison, let us say I have found 0D, then it will actually point to the next location. So if you want to go to 0D again, so you will say DI subtract or decrement DI. After SCAS B, you will say decrement DI to actually go back to this particular location. Okay, So you have to make an adjustment if you want to go to that particular character place where 0D is present, right? Okay, fine. You have already seen, you have already writing debug and all those things. Okay, I think we need not look at it, but the point that I would like to drive here is that what is PSP? We have been always pointing out PSP in your dot model tiny. Okay, in dot model tiny, CS, DS, ES, and SS are all initialized to the you know they are pointing to the same location. The first 256 bytes in the dot model tiny, that will be it will have PSP, that is a program segment prefix. Okay, so what does program segment prefix is that it is a data structure which is used by DOS systems to store the state of the program. Okay, so the state of the program could be, what are the segment register values are initialized with addresses of this 256 bytes. So this, it will have the program status, the DOS status, program status, all these things will be present here. Okay, the segment register values and other values or other states with respect to your program, that will be stored in this particular. It's a data structure which DOS will build. Okay, so this is what is programs segment prefix, and I think debug you have already been using. So I think there's nothing to put it here. I mean, discuss here at least. By default, you do not need to put H suffix because all the numbers are assumed to be hexa in debug. In debug, I'm not talking about normal. When you're writing your programs, when you're writing your answers in your exam or something like, in your or anywhere else, if you do not mention H, it will be assumed as decimal. For example, if I say move AL comma 25, you mean to say here by default this means a decimal number. Okay, this will be interpreted as a decimal number. Move AL comma 25H, this will be this is obvious, this is a hexadecimal number. Okay, so though in debug you do not have to explicitly mention H, okay, but in your exams or anywhere in the programs or like that, you have to by default mention, or you have to explicitly mention H for a hexadecimal number. If you do not mention H, it will be understood as a decimal number. You are referring to a decimal number. Okay, this should be absolutely clear. Okay, don't give a reason that, sir, in anyways debug it will be, it will be taken as a hexadecimal. In debug it will be taken, but in your answers you have to explicitly mention it, right? Okay, so let us go to the next part of the instructions. Okay, just give me an while. Okay, we will then go to the next set of instructions, which are called as a rotate shift instructions. So, which will be part of your arithmetic instructions. Uh, so, we have seen till now the logical instructions. We have also seen the just a second, yeah. Right. Okay. Till now we have seen different kind of arithmetic instructions. What are the different arithmetic instructions that we have seen till now? Anybody? What is the arithmetic instructions that we have seen till now? Add, sub. Okay. Anything else? Add, sub, ADC and SBB. Right. Increment is also increment decrement is also the arithmetic instructions. We are increasing or decreasing the value of the particular operand. Okay, so other operations and we have seen some logical operations also. So the logical operations that we have seen till now are and, or, and what else? XOR, negate, and not. Okay, right? So there, let us look at some other logical instructions. So first is the rotate instruction. Okay, so rotate instruction, what it will do is it will rotate all the bits in a specified word or a byte to the left using ROL or to the right using ROR some number of times, whatever is the number of times. For example, if I say ROL destination comma count, okay, so count will tell how many bits, how many bits of rotation that you have to do. Okay, so this destination will be rotated by that many number of the bits in this particular destination will be rotated by this count number of bits. Okay, what do you mean by rotation? Okay, rotation is by this. Okay, so what will happen is the MSB will go into the will enter into the LSB side. Okay, so it will just keep rotating. For example, if I have my the present value of the destination is say 11001, 110011, okay, 123400. Let us say that. So one rotation, what will happen is, and the carry flag right now, let us say is this empty, or you can say, let us say it is 0. Okay, so after one rotation, okay, what will happen is this one will go into this, as well as it will go into the this side. Okay, so as a result it will become this way: 11001 okay, so it will become this way. After one rotation, okay, the MSB will go into the carry flag also, and it will also enter through the LSB side. Okay, so it will become, this will enter here, so this will become 1. Okay, and therefore these two zeros will get shifted, one will get shifted, and so on. Okay, after one more rotation, second rotation, after second rotation, this is carry flag. Okay, one more rotation, so what will happen? This will become 1001. This is the register 001 1001, and then you have one more. Okay, 0011 0011. Okay, so that is how will happen after the second rotation. Okay, right. So the circular operation, as it is a circular operation, as the bit rotated out of the MSB is circled back into the LSB. Okay, and the bit the MSB bit is also copied into the carry flag. Okay, now to specify the count, we will use CL count if the count is greater than 1. Okay, if the count is greater than 1, you will use CL. For example, if it is 1, it will be ROL AX comma 1 if it is one bit of rotating. Okay, or it can be ROR byte PTR SI brackets comma 1. That means you can have a register or you can have a memory location here. Okay, and you can also have, if it is more than 1, the rotation number of bits, if the count is greater than 1, you'll put it in CL, say move CL comma 04. Okay, and then you have this same thing, right? So that is destination should be either a memory location or a register. It can't be an immediate number. Okay. So ROL will do the left shifting. ROR similarly will do the right shifting, except that the LSB will now be copied into the carry flag. Okay, LSB is carried into the carry flag. Okay, so the flags which are affected are the carry flag and OF if MSB changes. Okay, overflow flag if the MSB changes, that is in a single bit rotation only, rotate only. Okay, in a single bit rotation, if the MSB changes, then OF also will be affected. Okay, let us take some examples. Let us say that if I take move CL comma 04 ROL BL comma CL, what this will do is it will swap the nibbles. Okay, what is a nibble? Anybody? What is a nibble? 4 bits. A 4-bit of data is called as a nibble. Okay, so if at all you had let us say you had previously 1001 1100. Okay, after 4 rotations, what will happen? This will actually go here and this will go here. Okay, so that will become 1100 1001. Okay, rotation, because that will do a rotation. Okay, so here if you are rotating in a memory, okay, ROR byte word byte PTR BX brackets, okay, comma CL. Okay, let us say that BX was 00 and CL is 04. Okay, and BX is 0000, so BX brackets is 20 and BX plus 1 is CD. Okay, so in this case, what will be the answer? Anybody? What will be the answer? CD 20, then next location is CD. After 4, the answer. ROR, you are rotating rightwards. What will be the word? First of all, what is the word before the rotation? 16-bit word without rotation, before rotation. What is 16-bit word with before rotation? We know that this is little endian format. So this is the LSB and this is the MSB. Okay, the word before rotation is CD20. Okay, you are doing a right rotation. That means it will go this way. Right? You are doing a right rotation. Okay, and therefore this will become 0 CD2. 0 CD2. Okay. Okay, this there is some issue here. Right rotation. 0 C D2. Okay, so this will be, this should be here. This should be wrong. Okay, so this should be 0 C and this should be, okay, right rotation, right? So you will be rotating right. So this is D2 and this is 0 C. Right? Okay, 0 C here and D2 here. Okay, and because and the carry flag will become 1. Okay, the carry flag will become 1. Okay, how do you know what should be the carry flag? Okay, how do you know what should be the carry flag? See, if you see, now this basically this will move here, this will move here, this will move here. Okay, so while you are moving out, okay, this whole bits will will keep moving into the carry flag. Okay, so if you expand it 0 CD20, if you see it, this will be 0000. Okay, 0 1 0 0. Okay, and what is D? D is what? 1110 is E. 1101. Okay, 1101 is D, and C is what? 1100. Okay, so if you do a right rotation, okay, the first rotation will move this into the carry flag, third, fourth, first, second, third, fourth. So carry flag will be 0. Okay, so D2, 0C and 0. Carry flag will be 0. Okay, count here is 4. CL is 4. Yeah.
So
Okay.
could you
Yes.
explain this again? The
So
rotate bits in memory full part.
yeah, rotate. So you have ROR word pointer BX. Okay, BX is having 00 here. Okay, CL is 4. The first location, that is the memory at location BX, is 20. BX plus 1 is CD. Okay, now because this is Little Endian format, the lower address will have LSB, the higher address will have the MSB. Okay, the word as such is CD20. Okay, the word before rotation is CD20. Okay, this is MSB and this is the LSB. Okay, now 4 bits of rotation. 4 bits of rotation means what? Okay, now let us look at here. I'll put it here. CD20. Okay, let me put it in a single line. It will look better, right? So 1 bit of rotation, what will happen? This will go here. Okay, so what will happen is 110 0 110 1 0 0 1 0 0 0 0. Okay, with the 0 here. Okay, this is actually moving here, right? Though this is after first rotation. After second rotation, what will happen? What is happening? I'm rotating right. Rotating right means what will happen? It will happen this way. Okay, the LSB will go into the carry flag and it will get inserted into the MSB. Okay, so that is what is happening. Now again, I'll put this back into this. Okay, so this will become 0 0 1 1 0 0 1 1 0 1 0 0 1 triple 0. This is after the second rotation. Okay, now after the third rotation, okay, again put this back here. So that will become 0 0 0 1 1 0 0 1 1 0 1 0 0 1 0 0. This is after the third rotation. And after the fourth rotation, this will again go here. So 0 0 0 0 1 1 0 0 1 1 0 1. Okay, 0 1 0. Sorry, 0 0 0 1 0 0 1 0. I've lost again. 1 second. 1 1 0 0 0. Okay, triple 0 0. 1 second. Yeah, 0 0 1 1 0 0 1 1 0 1 0 0 1 0. Okay, this is after the fourth rotation. So this is 2. What is this? 1 1 0 1 is what? D. This is what? C. And this is 0. Okay, 0 0 C D2. Okay, so that is what we expected. Okay, so this will actually go here. Okay, and this will shift this way. Okay, that should become 0 C D2. Okay, so the carry flag, if you see the carry flag here will after the first rotation will become 0. The second rotation it will become 0 again. The third rotation also will become first rotation, second rotation, third rotation, and fourth rotation. Fourth rotation also the carry flag is becoming 0. Okay, so carry flag after the fourth rotation is also 0. So CF is equal to 0. Answer is 0C D2. Right? Right?
Yes, sir. So the only difference between the two things is here we are moving the data from memory, whereas there we were just shifting the bits inside a register, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so you have a short program here where you are actually doing, you have a data here, the result is here. Okay, so you are clearing your BL here, okay, by saying sub BL comma BL and move 8 bits. If you want to rotate by 8 bits, you are moving it here. Yeah, please note that, okay, please note that I have mentioned A7 as 0 A7. Why? Because the most significant bit of A7 is 1. Okay, this is 1010 A and 7 is 10111. Because the most significant bit is 1, that is why I'm putting a leading 0 here. A leading 0 here. If you do not put that leading 0 here, it will make a mistake or it will throw an error here. Okay, so I have 8 here. I've moved the data into AL. Okay, and then what I'm saying is I'm ROL AL1. Okay, that is rotating it once and checking the carry. If the carry is not 1 and I'm just if carry is not 1, okay, then I'm going to the next decrementing DL and I'm checking how many bits are 1. This is a program to actually check how many bits are 1 in a particular set of data. Okay, if at all the carry is 1, that means that bit that was present there is 1. Okay, you have a data here. Okay, A7 10100111. Okay, I'm actually rotating left. Okay, so whenever I rotate, this also goes into the carry flag as well as this goes here. Okay, so I'm counting the number of bits by observing the carry flag. One rotate, check the carry. If the carry is there is no carry, I'll just decrement DL, which is having the count here in this case, and I'll continue the operation. If at all the carry flag is becoming 1, I will increment BL, and finally I'm storing BL into RES1. Okay, fine. Okay, let's look at the I should have the shift multiply operations. Okay, so here that we have seen here is RCL and yeah, I forgot to mention here. This is ROR and ROL and ROL and ROR. Okay, in which you will be actually just rotating within that particular register or memory location. The MSB is copied into the carry flag, whereas MSB will be just copied into the carry flag. The carry flag will be just a copy of the MSB only. However, in RCR and RCL, what will happen is, okay, the MSB will go into the carry flag, and the previous carry flag will go into the LSB in the case of RCL. In the case of RCR, what will happen is the LSB will go into the carry flag and carry flag will go into the RCR, the MSB. Okay, so rotate operation around the left through the carry flag. Okay, previously the LSB will be moved into the MSB directly. In this case, in this case the carry flag will be moved into the LSB. And here previously the LSB was moved into the MSB directly, but here now the carry flag will be moved into the MSB, most significant bit. Okay, so that is the difference here, right? The syntax, everything is same for RCR and RCL, also same as ROL and ROR, except that the mnemonic will be different. It will be RCL destination comma count and RCR destination comma count, right? Okay, let's look at the shift operation. Okay, In the shift operation, what will happen is you are, instead of rotating, you will do a shifting. What do you mean by that? Okay. What you will be doing is, in this particular case, it shifts each bits in the specified destination register, okay, to left direction. Okay, it will do it in the left direction. So SHL will do a normal shift left, and SAL will do an arithmetic shift. Okay, so what is mean by normal shift and arithmetic shift will come with an example. Okay, the syntax is, in the case of SAL, it will be SAL destination comma count. In the case of SHL, it will be SHL destination comma count. Okay, SAL destination comma count, SHL destination comma count. Okay, if count is again greater than 1, the CL register will be used for count register. Okay, so now what do you mean by shift left? Okay, let us say that I have the destination, let us say AX is equal to 1011 11 or 1000. Let us say that. Okay, if I say SHL shift left, okay, AX comma 1, okay, AX comma 1, what will happen is, okay, now 1011 1000, okay, what will happen is it will shift left by 1 bit. What will happen if I do a shift left? It will become 0 1 1 1 000, okay, and what will be the LSB? LSB will become 0. Okay, it is not that you will put it back here. This is not a rotate instruction. Okay, this is a shift instruction. Okay, you will just put a 0 here. Okay, it will shift. This is in the case of a SHL. Okay, in SAL also the same thing will happen. There is no difference. Arithmetic left shift will not be will be the same thing. Okay, arithmetic left shift in the case of SAL AX comma 1 also will happen the same thing. Same thing will happen. Both will lead to the same result. In the case of SAL and SHL, both will have the same result. Okay. Now, what do you mean by shifting left? If I have a number, if I'm shifting left by 1, what does it happen? What does it mean? What does it mean?
Multiplying by 2.
It is multiplying by 2. Shifting left is actually multiplying by 2. Okay. So if it, what was this? 1011, 1011, 1011 is how much? 1011 is in hexadecimal is how much? This is 8. What about 1011? 8 plus 2, 10 plus 1, 11. 11 is B. Okay. B8 is how much? B8 is how much? In decimal? 16 into 12. 16 into 12 only? Or 11? 11. 16 into 11 plus 8. Okay, how much is this? 1, 6, 16, 1 is 16, 17, 176 plus 8. Okay, how much is that? 184. Okay, and how much is this? This is 7. Yeah, 70, right? Am I right? Or making a mistake? One zero one one is how much? Is it B only? A is 1010. B, yeah, B is this 11 176 plus 8. Okay, so how much is this? 16 sevens is how much? You should be multiplied by 2, right? If at all you count, you shift left, should be multiplied by 2, right? One second, please. Give me a just.
So the one which you shifted to left will be considered if you are taking it in a sense that it is multiplied by 2. Like it will be 170 instead of 70 in hex.
170. Okay. If that was considered, it would have been yeah, you're right. If you take the whole number 170, then it will be multiplied by 2. Right. Right. One second. 3x b8 multiplied by 2 will be 170. Yeah. If you take the whole number, that will be multiplied by 2. Okay. But yeah, if you take ax, okay, as this way, let's do this way. Ax is 0 0 b8. Okay. So after you shift left by 1 bit, it will become 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 1. Okay. So it will become 0170, which is twice of 0b8. Okay. Which is twice of 0b8. Okay. So you are shifting by 1 bit to the left, and this will become 0170, which is twice of this. Okay. So this is what will happen in shift left. Okay. What about yeah, you have an example here. SAL BX, 1. Okay. And move CL as 2. Okay. This is SAL BP, CL. Okay. You are multiplying BP with 4. Okay. And then you are actually arithmetic shift of BX, 1. Okay. So what will happen is you are actually incrementing, or you are shifting arithmetic shift of the byte. This is the memory location, and this is in the case of a register. This is just a register multiplying register shifting left by 2. Okay. So basically, when you do an SHL or SAL, the flags that will be affected will be the same. This carry flag, zero flag, and sign flag. Carry flag, zero flag, and sign flag. Overflow flags will be affected only if the MSB changes. That is in the case of a single bit shift only, just as you have in your ROR and RCL and ROR, RCL, ROL, etc. Okay. And parity flag will be affected, but it has meaning only in the 8-bit operation, because as we know, parity flag only reflects the last 1 byte only. Okay. Auxiliary carry flag doesn't have any meaning. It is undefined in this case. Now what is SHR and SAR? Okay. SHR will actually basically it will do a shift right. Okay. It's a normal shift right. If it shift right the operand and puts 0 in the MSB. Okay. SHR, it will put 0 in the MSB. Okay. For example, let us take this thing. You have an unpacked BCD. Okay. Unpacked BCD is basically each numerical is encoded as 1 byte. Okay. With 4 bits representing the numerical and the remaining bits having no significance. This is called as uncompressed or unpacked BCD. Okay. Packed BCD means 2 numerals are encoded into a single byte. Okay. With 1 numeral in the least significant nibble as 0 to 3, and the other numeral that is a most significant other numeral in the most significant bit. Okay. For example, in compressed BCD, okay, if you have, okay, for compressed or unpacked, uncompressed or unpacked BCD, this most significant nibble, the last that is bit 7 to bit 5, bit 4, sorry, bit 4, they do not have any significance. Okay. And only the last 4 bits they have significance, that is 3 to 0. In the case of a packed BCD, what will happen is each nibble will be a 1 numeral. Suppose if you have 15, okay, this will be 0 0 1 and 0 1 0 1. Okay, this is 1 nibble and this is another nibble. So this is one numerical. This will lie from 0 to 9. the other nibble also will be from 0 to 9. Okay. In the case of, for example, if you have decimal 91, okay, in unpacked BCD, it will be this way. Okay, 0, first nibble has no meaning, so 0, then 9, 0, and then 1. In the packed BCD, it will be 91. Okay, that is 9 and then 1. Okay, now why am I saying this? Is we'll be doing the one small short program here. What I'm saying is, this is just one example here. That is, I'm shifting SHR BP, 1. Okay. In unpacked BCD, what I'm doing is I'm taking AL, moving it to BL. Okay. And then I am ANDing the last 4 bits. Okay. That is the least significant 4 bits. I'm just ANDing it. Okay. And then I shift them and shift them right. Okay. And then move BH into, move that into AL. Okay, so what is happening here? Okay, suppose I have this AL and I'm shifting into BL. Okay, so let us say I have this particular thing 0 0 0. Let us say I have 9. Okay, so because I do not this in unpacked BCD. Okay, uncompressed BCD, this doesn't have any significance. What I will be doing, I will AND it with 0 0. And it with this. By this, what will happen? This particular nibble will just become 0. If you AND them, this particular nibble will become 0. Okay, that is what you have in BL. Okay. Now what am I doing is, okay, AL which is there now, I am shifting it to the right. Okay, I am shifting AL. I am shifting AL to the right. Okay. Whatever is there in AL, I'm shifting it to the right. So what will happen is, see, this is packed BCD. Okay, from packed BCD to I'm going to unpacked BCD. So what will happen is 1001 0001. Okay, so first what I have done, I've made a copy it into BL. Okay, and I have masked this and made it as 0000. Okay, and now what I'm not doing is this is now the state of BL. This is BL. Okay. Now previously AL, which is there 1001 0001. So what I'm doing, I am shifting it to the right. Okay, shifting it to the right. I'm sorry, shifting to the right. Okay. Okay. So now that will become 00001001. So that is what you have AL. Now that will go into this particular. This is BH. This is BH. And now this is this is this is BH and this is BL. So by this, what will happen is, by this, what will happen is, I will actually making the packed BCD into unpacked BCD. Right? So we have one more instruction, which is SAR, which I will be doing in the next class, and then we'll go into multiply and divide. Okay. So any doubts here till now?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, can you please explain what was the significance of SHR BP, 1?
It's just an example. It's no significance. There's just an example of telling how you will actually do a single bit shift.
Achha, okay,
It's a separate instruction. It's a separate instruction.
Okay, sir.
It will shift. It will shift bit BP to the right by one bit. Can we use the whole CX for counting or no? Not no. We have to use only CL. Especially in 8086, you can use only CL. Okay. Right. Any other queries? There is no difference in the case of SHL and SAL. There is no difference. You will find a difference in SHR and SAR. You will find a difference there. You will You'll find a difference there. SAR we will be seeing in the next class. Right? Any queries? Explain CMPS again, like which we are, which are we incrementing, SI or DI or both? We are incrementing both. We are incrementing both. We are comparing the contents of SI with the contents of DI. Okay, and yeah, that you will be basically doing subtraction without affecting the operands. And after every comparison, CMPS, the SI and DI will be either incremented or decremented, depending on the direction flag. Both will be done. Both will increment or decrement. Both will happen. The difference between REPE and REPNE is that in REPE, it will repeat as long as it is equal. Okay, as long as the comparison is equal, it will repeat. In REPNE, it will repeat as long as they are not equal. The source and the destination, SI and DI, they are not equal. The contents at SI and DI, they are not equal. As long as they are not equal, REPNE will continue. Right? Yes. REPE and REPNE can be used with both can be used with the SCAS and CMPS. Yes, both can be used. Why do we write byte PTR and word PTR? The reason why we write byte PTR and word PTR, for example, if you say increment SI brackets, if I say that, I have explained it in when I was doing an increment operation. If I say increment SI brackets, okay, so that will not actually tell me whether I should increment a byte or increment a word. Okay, if you say byte PTR, it will say that okay, I have to increment only a byte. If you say word PTR, I have to take one whole word as a, that is yeah, 1 second then. I have to take a slide for this. Control M. I've actually explained it when I was actually looking at okay, so if I had, for example, if I had a location, let us say that FF10, this is one byte, this is another byte. If and my, let us say my SI was pointing to this. If I say increment SI brackets, okay, it is not known whether you have to increment only one location or you have to see this as a one location. Okay, but if you say increment byte PTR SI brackets, okay, so then it will just increment this particular FF. Okay, if you increment FF, what will happen? This will become 0, 0. Okay, because FF plus 1 will be 1, 0, 0. This will be neglected. In the case of increment word PTR SI brackets, okay, what will happen is now 10 FF will be taken as one together. If you increment that, that will become 1100. So now this will become 00 and this will become 11 if you do a word PTR. Right? I hope it's clear now.
Yes, I understand.
Right. Right. Any other queries? Right. Okay, then if that's it, so let's continue in the next class. Please remember that we have an extra class tomorrow at 4 o'clock. So whoever can join should whoever can join and are willing to join, they can join. Right. So that will be a compensatory class.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
sir. Sir, regarding the doubt about the poll in the last class,
Who is this? Hariharan?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll look at it. I'll look at it and get back to you. Right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir,
Yes.
we have a lab. Acha, okay, the labs have been shifted, right?
Yeah. Some people told that that particular lab is shifted. Yeah. That's the reason I put it at Thursday 4 o'clock.
Okay, sir.
So somebody is not able to join, they can see the recording. That's what, because this is the best possible time that we can fit. Right? Yeah. Okay. Thank you.